Hello, bud. Thank you for your check-in. So let's start with the constraint and work back from there. So we must understand you are where you are in life right now because of your own doing. You know, where you've got to right now is all down to what you've been doing in the past. Now, the reason why you struggle to get out of bed on time, to have motivation, get towards the goal, because you see yourself as this guy that is out of shape, that struggles to get like anything productive done. And what you then do is you'll then cement his habits by doing your usual habits. So his thought in, or your thought in your head is that you struggle to get out of bed and do the events. So what you will then do is you will affirm that belief with your habits. You will not get out of bed, not track food, you'll miss the gym, and you'll eat whatever you want. And what these habits will then do, they will then reaffirm how you see yourself. And because of how you see yourself is then how you're then going to act. And it's this cycle of awful, like very, very bad transition. And it's so hard to break out of it because for the longest part, you keep thinking you are this guy. You then confirm you are this guy. You then think you are this guy. And you keep acting in that way to confirm how this is. So it's so hard to break the mold and get out of it. That's why to do the actual, to do the task itself, it feels like there's this big weight on top of your shoulders that you're trying to do. It's like 100 kilos. And what this represents is like you being able to actually do any form of productivity towards this goal. The reason this is like this is because of how you view and how you see yourself. The way we get round this is we have to change how you view yourself, which is a painful task, but it is one that can be absolutely done. So we need to see that because of the way you act, it's all done from what you and the way you see yourself. So with that, what we want to do is we want to fix how you see yourself. Now, the first thing we need to do, when we need to take you from point A, where you are now, to point B, the goal, the easiest way to get there would be to go from A to B. But people won't do that. People will go forwards, sideways, backwards, forwards, sideways, backwards, forwards, sideways, backwards, up, down, in and around, circles, bit of progress, back down, and it will take forever to get to. They could have got to the goal 3 times over. So the way to get to the goal is not you are you. Here's the plan. Now let's go and apply it, because that won't work. What you have to do is understand that to get from A to B, you have to believe you are already at B. You have to already act like you are an athlete. The same goes for getting the girl. If you want the girl, you need to understand that you already have the girl. In your head, you already have that girl, that equivalent of that girl, in abundance. Even if you don't, you have to fully believe that you do. You have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, I am capable of getting in shape. I am capable of getting the girl because I've done it before and I can do it again. Even if you haven't, you have to blindly believe that you can do this. Because if you don't change how you think, you will not be able to change your habits. It's so hard to change your habits when you're thinking one thing. It's like me saying, It's like me saying, don't drink water when you're really, really thirsty. You're gonna drink the fucking water. Of course you are. So we have to already act like we've got enough water. We have to already act like as soon as we turn the corner, there's a fucking waterfall of monstrosity water that we can guzzle down and hydrate from. So we already have to believe that we are at B, and then our actions have to then solidify that as well. So when you already believe you are at B, you will then think in the mindset of, well, what would this guy be doing if he was already at B? You need to think, how would this guy act if he wanted the thing? Don't picture me in this analogy. Picture someone you look up to, because I guarantee there is some human in this world that you see as an idol, and you have to think, what would he do in this situation? And this is what you have to think. You have to think that you and him are friends. You have to think that for some reason, you and him are friends, and imagine he said to you, oh, what have you done today? And you had to explain to him that you fucking did some bullshit and let him down, he'd be like, what the fuck, man? And you would feel so shit, because you've looked up to this guy for ages, and when he's asked you, why did you do that? You would feel like a small piece of shit for that. So you almost have to think, what would the guy do that I want to be like? And what should I do in the event that he were to ask me at the end of the day, what did you do today? Imagine being able to do the opposite. Imagine being able to say, Well, today, yeah, I got up at 6 and then I went straight out for a walk and I did my steps. Then I came back, had meal 1, which was already prepped and prescribed. I knocked out my work pretty quick because I didn't have any brain fog, because I didn't eat any random food. And then from there, I got myself to the gym, actually PB'd, and this is the 7th session I've been doing in a row. And yeah, it's going pretty well, and my form's improving. I'm sending form clips into my coach, and life's getting significantly better. Imagine you could say that to the person that you look up to, and he'd be like, fucking hell, that's sick, like really good. He'd be then affirming who you are. He'd be validating those steps. He'd be saying, fucking well done. And because he is doing it, and he's someone you look up to, you will then continue to do that, because you've got that positive feedback loop. The problem is, at the minute, you have no positive feedback loop because you're giving yourself blue balls in the sense of making progress. You're stopping yourself from making progress through the habits you're doing because of the thoughts you see. So you must understand that you need to look yourself in the mirror every day and be like, what would so-and-so do? And what would I want to tell him at the end of the day? And then you have to act with that. And in the beginning, it will still be painful. It will still be painful to do the thing. It really, really will. But that's okay. And it's supposed to be. And why is that okay? Because that's where you're going to grow from. That's how you're going to improve as a human being. If it was just easy to start and do it, you wouldn't even value it anyway. So it wouldn't change who you are. Remember, the physique is the vehicle from getting you from where you are now to where to essentially, the physique is like, that's the nice cherry on top. Even though that was the focus in the beginning, that's the cherry on top. What we're really doing is developing who you are as a human being, so you can go and take what the fuck you want out of life. But you must think, what would the guy I need to be, what would he be doing to get to the result? So as of tomorrow, you're going to script out what you need to do tomorrow, the night before. When you finish watching this video, I want you to audit your day. I want you to write it out in your iPhone notes page. At this time, I'll do this. At this time, I'll do this. At this time, I'll do this. And I want you to prep your food today. Take today, it's slightly like a bit of a write-off. Cool, it's only 11 o'clock, whatever. You probably get to the gym. You can definitely prep your meals. You can definitely get to the gym. You can definitely prepare for tomorrow, and tomorrow being the way that you start from there. Then from there, you wake up tomorrow and you blindly follow that list that you thought the best version of you should do. You thought, what would your idol want you to do in that day? And you've scripted it out like that. It's so important that you think of your idol at the forefront of this. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what I tell you who my guy is. I always think, though, in this analogy, what would so-and-so do? And the majority of the time, he'd call me a little bitch, and he'd be like, why didn't you just do? And I'd have no answer, and I'd be like, I might as well just do the thing, because let's be honest, that's what he would tell me to do. And it's so powerful when you can think of that person to make you do the thing. So just to reaffirm again, what we're trying to do is change the thoughts inside your head, because what you think is how you're going to act. You don't act and then think, you think and then act. So you have to change how you view yourself. So you have to believe that you are now an athlete. You have to believe that. And you have to believe that the person that you look up to is looking at you thinking, did you perform today? Did you do the athlete tasks? Then you need to think, well, what would the athlete do within a given day? And you would structure those out. And then the first day will be very, very painful. We know this. It will be very, very painful. But you will blindly follow his advice and you will tick it off. And you know what? Even if it was slightly wrong, even if you overcooked 20 grams of rice and you ate over, the fact that you did the thing that you said you were going to do, that is where it actually comes down to. The reason people get out of shape is because for the longest of time, they have not respected themselves. Think about it. If you picture the best version of you with the most amount of self-respect, draw him out, how would he look? He wouldn't look how you look now, would he? Obviously not. So for the longest period of time, people have been okay disrespecting themselves for whatever reason inside their head. So with that, we need to prove that you can respect yourself, and that you need to prove that you can respect yourself. Then when you do, you push that aura onto other people that I respect myself, so you should respect me too. And human beings are like, they're pretty like people that they'll do what you say. They're like, okay, cool, like we must respect this guy, he respects himself. But the polar opposite happens. If you show disrespect to the world by eating a load of junk food and getting out of shape, people will give you that energy back. And then for the longest of time, you're in that perpetual cycle of bullshit trying to break out of it. So you have to be the one to show yourself self-respect first. It has to come from you first. And it's as simple as just doing what you say you're going to do. Don't even set this bar too high. Just make sure you can hit it. Just make sure you get out of bed when you say you're going to get out of bed. you ate the food you say you're going to do, and you did the gym session. Done. Nice and simple. You don't even have to complete it. You just have to go and attempt it. And you've won the day at that point. Because what we want to do is then stack data. And conveniently, you're going to log and record this onto the app. And you're going to have the proof and the data there to look at. So with that, that is data of you proving you are an athlete. These are days in the let's look at it like the how to draw this. I'll draw it flat this time. So if we've got old you and the new you, we want to put as many rocks in this basket of the new you. At the minute, there's fucking loads of rocks in this basket of the old you and like 2 in this one. So what we need to do is stack days. We need to stack rocks inside this basket towards the new you instead of it being sat at the old you, because we need to tip the balance in your brain of where you believe you are an athlete. And this doesn't need to be 100% one, 0 the other. No. This just needs to be 51% you believe you're an athlete and 49% of the old you that doesn't. And then what's going to happen? This line is going to slightly, this is aggressive, but it's going to slightly tilt in your favor towards the new you. And it's going to outweigh the old you. And it's going to make it a lot easier to swim downstream towards the goal. And to get to the goal is not going to feel like a second fucking job as it does right now. That's what this is all about. So to summarize what we've said here, we have to change how you view yourself. We do this by, first of all, what would the person you look up to, and he's literally looking at you saying, this is what you should do. What would he expect you to do? What do you need to do to be that person? Bearing in mind, you're already going to start at B. You are already an athlete. The tangible, do this right now, is write down your day for tomorrow and blindly follow it. And then that is your data to prove you have 1 rock inside the basket of the new you. We stack enough days of that to move just to 51% of progress. You will then believe you are the athlete. And then from there, you'll swim downstream towards the goal. Let's make action steps straight from this. I hope you found it useful. Let's just speak on WhatsApp.